Hello, all you beautiful people. It's Darren Moose. Welcome to a video. As it says, I'm going to give my uh, thoughts and review on the Mission Impossible 7 movie. I'll first start off with um, spoiler free as best as possible. And then after that, I'll give a sign and you can leave. And then I'll do some spoiler stuff. At least the parts that I thought uh, to the related parts of spoilery, not the whole movie, obviously. I mean, it's only one half of the full. So, in the end, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Uh, there were some things that I did enjoy that I kind of thought were off, but all in all, it was a good movie to see. Um, well, sorry, 7 to 7.5. Okay, 7 to 7.5. But still, I thought it was a good movie to see. I might go see it again, uh, just because my frame of mind not might have been the best. But after kind of going over it, I'm still kind of gonna stick with the 7 to 7.5. Um, it is actiony. It does have that action. Um, it does. There's some there's some comedy bits I like, which were funny. Um, they they definitely have some very lovely women. I'm glad that I'm glad to see the Vanessa Kirby to come back. I can't remember her character's name, but she comes back and replays her character from the last one. And then you of course you have Haley Atwell and the one lady who uh, she plays the mother to uh, Timothy's character in Dune. I can't remember her name, unfortunately. But it does have all these good bits. Um, the and this is spoiler. This is a spoiler free stuff. So um, some of the bits that I was either unsure of or like I don't understand why. Some of it had to do with something happens to a certain character, but it feels like they didn't. They really didn't give us enough time to know this character because something happens to him. Something happens to this character, and it just kind of feels flat when this something happens. Um, and I was just kind of like, well, that's odd. Also, the something that happens kind of gets foretold in essence. It's not the foretelling isn't on the certain character, but when you see the certain character happen at their interaction, it does. You now get sense like, oh, this thing is going to happen to this character because of the foretelling previously. And once you see the movie, you understand. But once that happens, though, once the foretelling happens, it's like, oh, so this interaction is gonna actually happen to this character, and that's that. Um, so that was that. It's sort of like it fell flat for me. Um, and I know it's not very specific, but once we get to spoiler territory, I can, and I'll give you some time to walk away from that. And then there was, let's see, there was that. There were some moments between Tom Cruise's character and Haley Atwell's character I enjoyed. Again, we'll get into spoilers for that. Um, the story, mm, it's the story of the movie fits within the times, but it's not a story that hasn't already been done already. Um, and I won't get too detailish into it till we get to spoilers because obviously all that stuff. It's like saying I'm trying to keep as much back without spoiling it for you, uh, but wanting you to have your chance to see it, and then you can either see what I see or don't. That's up to you. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it overall, and I think partially also why I'm giving it some I'm not gonna give it like a 10 out of 10 because I've already given that to Sound of Freedom. Um, I think for me, and because one, the way the movie's out in the middle of the week. Second, because the two movies I'm looking forward to, the Barbie and Oppenheimer, are so close, it's like which one do I want to see more? So I will say I wasn't really biased towards seeing this movie. Um, I wasn't really interested in seeing it, just because the two movies I'm looking forward to are happening the week after. Well, not exactly the week after, but in the week after. And yeah, I don't know. I still stand by my 710 and and go from there. But I will say it was enjoyable. I may go see it again if there's nothing else. But for right now, I really am waiting for the Barbie and Oppenheimer movie, just because those two are going to be big. And whether you agree or disagree of how much money they make or whatever, I don't know. Um, will this movie make as much as the Maverick? Possibly. It stars the same. Um, I just don't know. Right now, I've been seeing people post their theaters, and not all of them are like selling out. And it could possibly be because it's the middle of the week, but you have the weekend that could fill up. Uh, but right now, I just even when I went, the theater was like not even a fourth. Well, okay, maybe it was a fourth of the theater. It was very low. It was very low. It was probably under 20-ish people. Um, but anyway, but yeah, so that's my spoiler free. I still enjoyed it. I may see it again, but I didn't feel the hype for what most people are putting out for. And that's okay. Everyone has their opinion about the movie, and this is my opinion. So, but right now though, I'm going to put now is the time for spoilers. Ooh. So I'm going to count to 10, and at the end of 10, I'm going to start getting spoilers. So if you do not want the movie to be spoiled for you, uh, end the video here. I thank you for enjoying the video, and if you please would just, if you wouldn't mind giving a like and subscribe, so that I can not only reach more people, but maybe people have the same opinion. You never know. But if you're leaving, thank you for joining. I hope you have a wonderful day, and uh, don't forget to enjoy life a little. So, uh, counting down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're in spoiler territory. So here are a few thoughts that I had. One is the of course the movie starts out the way it starts out, um, and while it kind of is like, oh, okay, it was kind of like, I don't know about this. I didn't I in that orb thing that you'll see I didn't understand what it was at first, but then of course later on they mentioned that it's an entity or whatever, an AI, which I mean that's the whole story of this movie is an AI. They call it the entity, but I'm like, but it's basically just a sentient AI. I mean that type of story's been done for ages. So, but it's done in such a way that uh, the gentleman, I think it's Isai or something like that, he he either is in control of it or he serves the AI, which I'm not truly. The part two hasn't come out yet, so that may be explained. But I kind of feel like he is either the server of it or he's the controller of it. I have no idea. I think they do say in the movie that they can't be controlled, but I'll have to see it again. One of the things I really did like is the interactions between Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell. They played it off pretty well. especially during the driving scene. Oh, that was so hilarious when he's trying. I laughed throughout that during that whole thing is when they're trying to. He's trying to teach her how to drive. He's trying to teach her how to drive, and then Palm's character is trying to chase him. And so when they get the car that's supposed to be when he gets that small yellow car from, I just like the contrast between the small car and the big chaser. And, and it was just funny, like, no, 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 don't, just turn off, turn left, turn left. Oh man, that whole thing. I really did like the comedy bits for this movie because I mean it plays this off as serious, but throughout the whole movie I didn't feel that it was very serious. It is serious, obviously for that world, but it didn't feel that serious. Um, because again, the main issue is that the movie's about an AI or a sentient AI, and that in and of itself is sort of like, eh, that story's kind of been done. Um, but they're kind of searching for a key, and this key is sort of like a combined key. They kind of have to like sort of like that, or it combines like that, and and yeah, so they're searching for it, and of course, during one of the scenes, during during one of the scenes that Tom and Haley interact, she she has a key that's not the key, and it's like I don't know, like wow, that's pretty good, because because her character is a thief, and he impresses her with this sort of magic, sort of like sleight of hand sort of thing. And I thought that was pretty cool, um, because he gets her on it, and yet she gets him back. And I thought that was pretty neat. And their interaction with each other is pretty neat. Of course, down the road, it gets kind of more serious because of the situation at hand. Um, and what was it? And so it was just funny to see that sort of relationship. Now there's two other women because there's three for right. There's three women here that have a part, and the first woman is the one that Ethan is chasing to get the key, the first half of the key from. Uh, Supposedly, the movie goes as they used to know each other a long time ago, so they're very familiar with each other. But it, there comes a time later when they meet up with Vanessa's character to get this other half of the key, and then Isai, the one who either serves the entity or whatever, he comes foretelling that the only way that he's foretelling there's gonna be this train that there's a deal gonna go down on, and I'm gonna on this train I'll have the whole key, the whole combined key, and one of you's gonna die, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. Uh, but when it gets to the point of the character who's gonna die, or the so at one point when Ethan's uh, trying to chase because he's been at a certain point, he gets in a fight with Palm and another character. He beats that. He spares her, and then he comes to a point where he's going after where the bridge is, but he's being tricked by the entity AI. Which, okay, yeah. After a while, that he finds out. But anyway, so then you have uh, Isai. Isai is coming, not coming after, but he meets up on the bridge for the Haley Atwell's character, and it's like he knows she would be there. Of course, the entity, and he fights her. They fight each other, and she kind of loses out a bit. But the girl that Ethan was first chasing, I can't remember her name. Um, Fausch, I think it was Fausch or Faust or something like that. She gets on the bridge and she battles him, and it's quite a spectacular battle because she's really hitting him hard with her sword and stuff. But they kind of get back at each other and all that, and it ends up that she dies. Well, for me, that point of contention was is that he had already foretold someone was going to die, and when uh, to amongst the three women, and he um, when he was pointing to, I think it was at that point he was pointing to Haley's character, but when she showed up, the Faust or Faust person, when she showed up and was fighting him, I was like, okay, so she must be the one that's going to die then, because it's already been foretold that one of those female characters is going to die. And so she does. She gets killed. Um, and then he gets that half the key. Of course, Haley's character is still alive, and all that. No, wait, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get the half the key, but excuse me. But because of not Haley's, because of Faust's uh, sacrifice, Haley's character survives and all that stuff, and they go through that. The train scene was pretty cool. The fight scenes were all right; they were great. Um, but I do like the sleight of hand that Tom Cruise does on Eastside to get the key, the completed key, um, and all that stuff. And I know I'm kind of leaving out a lot, but like I said, I was only going to talk about the points I had bits with. So it's probably only a few points. Like the one point was the character has already been foretold they're going to die. The one of them comes, ends up dying. It was kind of like, oh, okay, I already know this person's going to die. The train stuff was all right, uh, but I really, when it was done, I thought at the end of the movie they were going to show a preview of the next part of part two, but they didn't do that. So don't stay till the end of the movie because there is no uh, hidden post scene or whatever. There's nothing at the end. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I probably would go see it again, but it really didn't hit me the same hype that it's hitting most people, and that's fine. I just had a issue with the one scene with the foretelling of a death, and then um, it I don't know. It just felt like it didn't keep me at the edge of my seat, if you will. Um, but then again, I think this is what this is Mission Impossible 7, right? Mission, there's only two, movies of the, uh, what is it? The Maverick one. I can't, it's not Maverick for both, but it's a certain title. I can't remember. But for this one, Mission Impossible is going on for a very long time. And for me, it feels like that Mission Impossible is just like, okay, nice action movie. Everyone likes a nice action movie, but it felt like it feels like it's getting past that point where the movie, the movie title has gotten past that. But that's just me. Everyone else will have something different. People will probably praise it, give it a 9 out of 10 or whatever. But for me, I give it a 7.75 out of 10. And I do hope you go see it, and maybe you'll see something different. Maybe you won't. I might be missing some things that are not fully, but it was just that one thing with the foretelling of the death was the one that jumped out to me. The comedy bits were fun, and I do think the acting was great, but for me, it wasn't like the super hype movie some people make it out to be. So, but that's just me. So anyway, I know this was a bit long. I do hope that you're able to not only maybe enjoy my perspective, but understand a little bit where I'm coming from. I know it's a bit all over the place, but again, there's a lot you can't say in a spoiler-free thing. So I hope I was able to leave at least some explanation of if it's good or not. So, and the thing of it is, go see it if you want to go see it. Don't go see it if you don't want to see it. Uh, it's up to you. But I did enjoy it, and uh, sometimes you just need a casual action movie to go enjoy, at least from my perspective. So, but anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. And again, like I said earlier, just, if you have a moment, give a like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment if you wish, agreeing or disagreeing, whether or not, or give your opinion on the matter if you've seen the movie. But yeah, uh, anything helps to at least get this out more. So maybe there'll be some people who agree or disagree, and we have a greater further conversation from there. But again, Have a wonderful day. I hope your day tomorrow is bright and cheery. Even if not, I hope you at least have something fun and good to look forward to. Love you all. Bye.